Good day. Years ago, Harvey Dent put us onto some information. It's going on 5 years now. He talked to us about strawman accounts. Hashtag strawman. He told us that, basically, the money that we were working from, we thought we were getting paid to do a job. And that money was actually coming from a series of secret accounts that were in our names that we didn't even know existed. Okay? Maritime law, strawman accounts. And that the Federal Reserve was holding these accounts, and you could inquire to find out the information you need to verify the accounts and utilize the accounts to pay debt. We listened to hours of that, and then a lot of us broke off and did our own research in regards to that. And some of us, like myself, it was a bunch of us that actually started calling the Federal Reserve to inquire about these accounts. I remember when I called, you could tell by the demeanor of the person on the phone that they had been receiving many phone calls regarding these strawman accounts. Like, yo, listen, you guys are holding accounts in my name that have significant sums of money in it, and I don't even know they exist. It was crazy. It's crazy. We called them, we verified them. Harvey listed the websites where you could find out the particular banks that were holding these accounts, and people like me took very detailed notes. Now, the actual account number for these accounts was not the number on the front of your security card, that social security card that you're familiar with. It was the number on the back of the social security card, and the numeric alphabet initial in the account was important in tracking down what bank was holding these accounts. And the state that you were born in was important as well. So we used all that information to locate the actual banks that were holding these accounts. It was websites. And listen, if I get time, I'll go back and list the go through my notes and find the websites and list it. The whole purpose is not to rehash that whole deal. It's just that what I'm saying is a lot of the national and global pandemics, plandemics, scandemics, I believe, this is just opinion, in part was to put out the fire of the information that was starting to come to light, right? About birth certificates being, bank documents, traded on Wall Street. It was insane. At the time, I found four accounts, significant amounts of money. Right? How much is irrelevant? I'm not going into all that. I couldn't access all of it anyway. The people who got in trouble with that were people who were trying to make purchases. There was a dude that bought an RV that paid a whole bunch of other stuff. But when I moved to Florida, I used those accounts. Like you said, you can use them to pay debts. So I used those accounts to pay car insurance for a year, to pay my power bill, pay my cell phone bill, and to pay the lease payment on the car that we had at the time for a year over the phone. Okay? Third party transactions, just call them in, give them the number on the back of the social security card, along with the routing number. After identifying the bank that had the money, it's done deal. Bing, bing. I didn't make purchases. I didn't make purchases, but I did pay debts, and those were important financial savings during the time. Think about it. The insurance to your car, I paid the insurance to the car for a year. The lease payments on the car for a year. All right? The water bill, the light bill, all because I knew I was able to identify with the help of Harvey Dent. The banks that were holding this information and the account number, which was on the back of the social security card, did that. Okay? and made phone calls because I wanted to find out. I wanted to know why there was these insane amounts of money in our accounts that we didn't even know existed. The premise is that when you get your check, you think that check you're getting is because of the hours you were working. And it turned out that that was just a small piece, a drop in the bucket of money that's coming from an account that is in your name that you don't know exists. All right? Federal Reserve. It's crazy. All right? It's worse than that. I talked about in the last video how you don't own your house or your car, because you don't have the certificate of origin. You have the title of the car, not the certificate of origin. What I did not tell you is that when you go into a dealership, let's deal with the home first. When you go and you're sitting at the closing in the home and you're signing paperwork, keep the numbers even. You buy a $300,000 house. When you sign paperwork, $300,000 automatically goes to the bank from the account that you don't know exists. They get paid twice, and you don't even realize it. So this is what happens. You sign your name, you go to the closing, you sign all your documents, you put down your down payment. Your down payment is, let's say your down payment is 10%. Keep it even. It doesn't matter what it is, 3%, 6%, it depends on what type of loans you're getting, whatever. That's important. Let's say your down payment is 10 grand. Once you sign the paperwork for the $300,000 house, understand that unbeknownst to you, $300,000 comes out of an account that you don't realize exists. You put $10,000 down on the house, or $30,000, or whatever. Doesn't matter. All right, that comes off. And then you start making payments, 15-year, 30-year mortgage. Let's say it's 30-year mortgage. You pay for the house twice. You pay for the first time when they took $300,000 from an account you didn't realize exists. Facts. Get over it. Do the research. Look up Harvey Dent. He's out there. A lot of his old stuff was deleted. A lot of his stuff was deleted, but he wasn't the only one that was talking about it. And I'm glad that he's resurfaced. Okay? Because if you're curious and you are interested in asking about it, drop him a DM. I'll put a link to one of his videos in the description. He had to start his channel all over again. Get a big subscriber base. He was making way too much noise. All right? So they bombed this channel. But he's got a different channel. Link will be in the description. You pay for the house twice. $300,000 gone out of account you don't know that exists that's in your name. Then you make the payments on the remaining portion of your loan. So you put $30,000 down. It's a $300,000 house. You have $270,000 to pay off in 30 years, and you make those payments, not realizing that just you putting your signature at the closing, that $300,000 was transferred from an account that you didn't know was even in existence. Same thing when you buy a car. Same thing happens when you buy a car. You finance a car, you sit down in front of the finance guy, you sign all the paperwork, they send that all off. The dealership gets paid for the car instantly. You think the dealership gets paid for the car because the bank cuts them a check because you borrowed money from the bank. The fuck are we deeper than that? Okay? You buy a $40,000 car, $40,000 comes out of that same account, Strawman account that you don't realize exists. All right? You put your down payment down, whatever your down payment was, $5,000, $10,000 on a $40,000 car. Let's say it was $2,000. I don't know, And you $2,000, you got $38,000 left to play plus the interest. And you're on a six-year payment plan, or 7-year, whatever. Over those 6 to 7 years, you pay for the car until it's paid off. But understand that you paid for the car as soon as you signed it, because that money went to the bank, and you didn't realize that money was transferred from an account that you didn't realize listen, this system is insane. It just is, and it's still happening. All right? When people start to find out about this, then all of these national stuff, all these big national things start happening, whatever, to distract you. Oh, don't look over here. Look here, look here, look here. Look at here, SARS. Look at here, COVID. Look this direction. Right? With sleep. And I get it. You know, it is, it seems complicated until you just look at it. It's not really real to you until it wasn't. Listen, when I first heard it, it just sounds like, you know what I'm saying, just some more, some government conspiracy thing. Until I called the Fed for myself and spoke to the man myself and realized that his office was being bombarded with calls. And to listen to him, try to relieve me of the fact that these accounts do not exist. But see, there's a thing that a lot of us are aware of now. It's sort of like I call it the vibration of truth. You can tell when somebody's trying to lie to you on purpose. You just can't. And if I tell you that, I paid my car insurance and my lease for a year, I paid for it. I paid for it. Got the receipts. Were there things that I paid for that went through and eventually didn't go through? Yeah, the water bill I had paid for like 6 months, until they caught on. You see, they caught on that people were using these accounts legally, using these accounts to pay their bills. The only time it was illegal is if you were using the accounts to make purchases. It had to be debts. It had to be debts. That's the only way that it was legal. And we weren't supposed to know that. We weren't supposed to get access to that information. We weren't supposed to learn that. And we did. And it came through in a good time. It was a good time. Couldn't believe it. Me and the close circle, the small close circle that was around me during that time, could not believe. I told one thing to tell them, but it's another thing to show them. Could not believe it. When it was supposed to get out, it got out. Sort of went away for a while. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it, but it's still out there, And hopefully, just talking about it a little bit doesn't encourage you actually to. I don't necessarily say you should take action in that direction. What I'm saying is, investigate it. Investigate it. It's just gonna be like anything else, man. Listen, I did a video recently about women. It was directed toward women. You ladies, when you understand half of what we're talking about, you're going to be pretty pissed off. All of those cute 50-plus year old women that I see walking around with pink ribbons and pink shirts, doing their rallies and raising money for cancer research, and they got their hearts and soul in it, and I applaud them. When they find out that all of this is man-made and that taxpayer money has been used for the last 60 plus years to bring all of these cancers and lupus and all of this stuff to create revenue for the medical field and to manage your lives and to manage how long you live on the planet and to manage how you leave the planet. I feel it will make when those people climb through the Capitol, storm the Capitol. I was like, okay, that's cute, but wait till they get their hands on some real truth. When those people get their hands on some real truth, when they start digging, what they say in the Ray Charles movie, scratch a lie, find the thief. When you start scratching the lies and you start uncovering some real truths you can verify, if you should ever decide to read some of the congressional records from the late 50s, the early 60s, up into the 70s. I mean, you can read them in any decade, but particularly that time period where these bastards was really, really emboldened to put their plans for your demise, regardless to your color, and then use your money to put you in bad situations. Use your own tax revenue, like they did with gain of function. You understand that with gain of function, the term gain of function is a code that they can throw around so that you don't understand actually what it is. Like we've talked about that, gain of function. The premise is they are picking viruses from various animals and combining them to mutate them to research making deadly viruses that have that humans can't survive naturally through our own immunity. Now, what is the purpose for mixing and mutating viruses to create viruses that would do us in? What's the purpose of it other than to do us in? There's nothing to learn. Okay, if you have viruses from different animal species, leave them in a different animal species. Why pull them, mix and match to mutate to make deadlier viruses? What is the purpose? If not something evil, there's no good that can come out of that because these are viruses that would never get together on their own anyway. Gain of function done right here in the United States, 11 states. A policy while Obama was in office, and I'm not a pro-Obama guy, I'm just saying the policy came through, it was a change. Listen, you can't do that in the United States no more. Sent that out to Wuhan and continue to use your tax money to fund it. And because there's a growing population of people who this is becoming common knowledge for, because we're not that bright. I mean, we're not that smart. We're smart enough to read and decipher stuff for ourselves, and we're smart enough to ask why. They got to address it. Gain of function, so they could talk about it. And 70% of you guys, gain of function. Oh, they did something. Somebody. Oh, Fauci did something wrong. Well, smack him on the wrist. Fire him, and then life can go back to normal. Nothing to see here. No, you are under my control. Thank you for coming. God bless you. Good day.